Hey, everybody, it's Scott Steen with winnersandwhiners.com coming to you with the Friday edition of Today in Sports Betting. This is part two, taking a look at the NBA. As always, we take a look at the games that are going to be on TV and then throw in any other random thoughts that we might have about any of these other games. I am joined, as always, by my co-host, my partner in crime. He is Scott Reichel, breaking down the round ball tonight, Scott. A couple of exciting games. You know, we always bitch about the NBA schedule. It's not awful tonight. We get to see a couple of. We get to see a team that you've been clamoring for late, and we get to see a couple of the more notable players in the NBA. And the first one, as Milwaukee goes up against New Orleans, and Bucks road team here, 7.5-point favorite, 230 is the number. Scott, is it fair to say both of these teams have been fairly disappointing this season?
Correct, but I think that one of these teams has obviously been more disappointing than the other one because one of these teams is still supposed to be a top 4 seed in the conference. The other one's probably going to be in the lottery. So,
yeah, I know that New Orleans was certainly thought of as a team that would be able to take that next step and join the playoff party this year, and it doesn't.
I thought New Orleans was going to be decent. I didn't think it'd be this bad. I think it would be a good team, no, because I still don't think that Zion and Ingram can work together. But that hasn't even been the main source of their problems. The main source of their problems is the fact that I don't understand the moves during the offseason. Of course, trading Drew Holiday means you're basically tanking. And I don't think Stan Van Gundy's been a very good fit for that team either. So I don't really know what they did that was supposed to lead to short-term success.
I don't understand everybody in love with Lonzo Ball. I don't get it. I just don't.
He's just not a good player.
No.
It's very simple stuff. He's just not very good.
And he's treated as if he is, and he's not. And
people expect him to – I'm trying to think of a good comparison in like other sports or anything where people just say, no, he's got potential. He's going to be good. And it never happens.
His brother?
No, because his brother's actually shown flashes at times. His brother is still favored to win Rookie of the Year, which I don't think he should win. I think Halliburton should get it from Sacramento. Yeah. But because Halliburton's been great. But looking at just you mentioned Alonzo, he might not play. But I went through the numbers with Alonzo so far this season, and people claim, he's been working on his shot. He's been trying to get better. And I'm thinking to myself, have you looked at his shooting numbers? Because he still can't shoot.
Well,
you go through the numbers here, and Alonzo had some flashes last year, or what was it? Yeah, last year, he shot 37.5% from three. The bubble happened. He looked like one of the worst players in the league. And people thought, maybe his three-pointer would catch on and maybe he'll figure it out. This season, he's shooting 38.8% from the floor, 58.3% from the foul line as a guard, and he's shooting 30.1% from the three-point line. Now, I know you can say, well, he passes the ball. He does other things. He's averaging a career low of 4.6 assists per game.
Unless they're counting some of those passes as shots, I don't care how much you pass when you've got shooting numbers like that. And like you said,
yeah.
he's not generating, he's not dishing the ball, he's not dropping that many dimes, less than 5 a game, right?
Yeah, that I mentioned the 3-point percentage there. I forgot to mention it's his career low in 3-point percentage. He's also attempting the most threes in his entire career.
Oh, good combination.
So I don't really know what he's doing out there. He might not play in this game. Truth is, I think New Orleans is better when he doesn't play. I really think they should trade him. I don't know what team would even really want him. But apparently he's got a market. I don't know what market it is, but I don't really get it. I know that it might be, I'd say, harsh for me to say it. I have no regrets about it. I think he's a bust. I don't think he's very good at the game of basketball. Am I being harsh, or is that just fair?
Oh, I think you can certainly say,
if you're a top 3 pick in the draft, I'm not going to show you any mercy because you're still young.
It's going to take a serious wake-up call for him to turn that around.
He's just not very good. He's a career 40.6% shooter from the floor.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Again, without some kind of major turnaround, I think you could officially call him a bust.
What do you think his career is for the rest? Because he's going to hang around backup point guard.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think he's a guy you maybe play, 20 minutes a game with the bench unit.
Yeah, he's your 8 or 9 guy, I think.
Mm.
You happy with Zion this season?
The truth is, defensively, he's been a disaster. His effort level on the defensive end is a joke at times. Having said all that, offensively, he's so good.
Yeah.
There's really not much to say about the offense in terms of criticizing. He's shooting 67.3% from the foul line, which people could argue isn't that great, but that's usually around where he was in college, so I'm not going to overreact to that too much. I think that free throw shooting, he does his part. He stopped shooting threes overall, which I don't have an issue with because he's not a great three-point shooter, but at least unlike Lonzo, he acknowledged that he probably shouldn't be shooting those. But he's shooting 59% from the floor. I mean, he's averaging about 24 points per game. I kind of want his rebounds to be a little bit higher at 7.5.
Yeah, that's the thing. He's only averaging 7.5 rebounds a game.
I can't criticize him for it though. He's on the same lineup as Ingram and Adams. I think that they're using Zion incorrectly. I think Zion should be a 4, and I think that Adams has a no spot on the roster. And yet, I think that's the main reason why Zion's rebounding is low. It's because of the fact that you have Adams and other people clogging up the middle. I think that's the main reason.
Van Gundy's going to play. You're going to play a classic 5. You just know he is.
Yeah, but I think you'd agree with the fact that if Zion was in a team that he should be in terms of makeup, he'll probably average 10 rebounds a game, 9 point something.
I would think so.
So I'm not going to overreact to the rebounding.
But I mean, you can't. I mean, then on the other hand, you can't criticize his defensive effort and then say, well, if Steven Adams was in there, he'd be doing better. I mean, that's.
Oh no, I just think he's a bad defender. Yeah. If you just watch him play, he's just lazy with his rotations. His effort level's an issue, and I think that's the main problem with his career up to this point. But offensively,
is he lazy or is he just a step slow? Is he just still behind the game?
No, it's. I've watched him play. I think it's an effort thing.
Okay.
Personally, when you actually watch him play, but offensively, he's tremendous. I don't really know what more you want from offensively. He treats the game like he's Barkley. And I know that Barkley, of course, is a much better player, and I'm not going to go that far, but I think you'd agree that based on their play style, there are a lot of comparisons between Zion and Barkley when it came into the league.
Yeah.
I think they're pretty warranted.
Barkley didn't have the hype that Zion did.
No, I'm saying besides the hype, I'm talking about just solely based on how they play the game. I think they're very similar stylistically.
Yeah. I think Zion has the potential to be better than Barkley, but
remains to be seen. But I just know that Zion offensively at least knows his limitations. He stayed healthy. He's playing 33 minutes a game, which is definitely a good sign for New Orleans. I think that either Ingram's probably going to need to go. We've talked about this before. Adams should go. He's got no spot on the roster. But for a rebuilding team, probably in the next year or two, if Zion was the number one option, he might actually average 28 points and 10 rebounds per game.
Scott, how happy are you with the starting 4 that for Milwaukee? You like those guys?
The truth is, I don't think Drew Holiday's been as impactful as I hoped he would be for that team. I know that he's a very good player defensively. He's averaging 1.9 steals per game. He's a great on-ball defender. I just thought he'd average more than 15.5 points per game. I know he's got 5.3 assists and 4.5 rebounds, so he has been pretty solid overall. But watching Holiday throughout his entire career, I just thought he'd be averaging closer to around 18 to 20 points with this team. And I think that even though he's deferred a lot to Giannis and to Middleton, I just think Milwaukee's bench isn't good enough for him to keep deferring to that level. I think if you're going to actually compete, you need that big 3 to score 65 plus points per game?
Yeah, with that bench you do.
So that's what I'm saying. So I like Holiday. I think the fit has been okay. I just think Holiday needs to be a little bit more aggressive finding his own shot moving forward. But I don't really have many issues with the big 3. Giannis at the foul line has been an absolute disaster. He's shooting a career low in free throw percentage. There's one question before. I know we're kind of ranting about stuff that's not really fully game related, but talk about Giannis. I know a lot of people claim, this guy's going to improve with practice. This guy's going to figure it out suddenly. At some point, when do the people just realize they've reached their ceiling when it comes to certain aspects? Because Giannis, no matter how many practice shots he takes, no matter how much whatever, he's not a good free throw shooter, and he's not a good jump shooter. Same thing with Ben Simmons. You can tell me Ben Simmons has been working on his 3 for 4 months. I don't care. He can't shoot the 3 ball. At what point are people just going to realize that Giannis, even though he's been working on his jump shot, Yeah, he's been shooting more threes. He's been improving. He's attempting 4.4 threes per game. Last couple of seasons, 30.7%, 25.6%,
Yeah,
30.4%,
he's still not shooting.
29.6%.
He's still not shooting 30% from 3-point land.
He can't shoot, and people are claiming, no, he's going to figure it out. No, he's not. This is who he's been in the league for about 8 years.
I think his range is about 15 feet.
I don't even think it should be 15 feet.
Well,
I think Milwaukee should play him like Shaq and just run pick and roll with him as the screener and just let him dominate in the paint. Teach him some post moves and let him go to work.
Yeah.
Because I think that's the main reason. The issue I have with Milwaukee, which I mentioned before, Giannis starts every possession out on the three-point line. I know he's a great athlete, but if he's not a threat to shoot the ball, then of course they're going to run into walls during the playoffs because he can't shoot.
Yeah, they play him like a stretch three, and
I don't get it. I think he should be playing center, and I think they should just run pick and roll with Middleton and Giannis and just let them create some mismatches. But
then what would happen with poor Brook Lopez?
I don't think Lopez has a spot on the court. I don't know. Don't get me wrong. I like how Lopez has reinvented himself, and I feel like a lot of it is recycled material I have mentioned in the past. But people, I'm just saying, they're always on TV. People come out here and they say, Lopez, great three-point shooter. Is he? He's shooting 36% from three. Like last year, he shot 31%.
Well, he's a great three-point shooter for a center.
But the point I'm trying to say is if you move Giannis to the center and you just bring in another small forward who can shoot, what's the difference?
Oh, I know.
Besides, you could argue rim protection, but I don't think Lopez can guard anybody on the perimeter and pick and roll.
No, you talk about somebody that's a step slow.
So I don't see the point of Lopez in the lineup, especially in today's NBA where you have a lot of teams going smaller, where you put a small forward, power forward hybrid there at the power forward spot. I just think Lopez has no fit on the team.
Yeah, well, they've got, and they're playing Bobby Portis a lot too. And
Portis actually been good this year, but
yeah, should he be starting instead of Lopez? He's averaging more points than Lopez is with 5 less minutes.
I was gonna say probably not, because that's the main reason why. You already have enough scoring with Holiday, Middleton, and Giannis that you kind of need somebody to provide a punch off the bench. So I'm fine with Portis coming off the bench, but I just don't think Lopez and Giannis make any sense together. Because you can say, well, Lopez can shoot. Sure. So can about, 80% of shooting guards in the league. Like you move Giannis to center, you move Middleton or somebody to power forward, you go extremely small. You embrace Giannis's just freak ability and you create more room for him. I don't really see why that's an issue.
Good luck.
I think you're screwed either way. I'm just saying, I think you should try something. You think this team's good enough to get past the East after they failed the last couple of years? Of course not.
Yeah, they certainly haven't got any better.
Might as well at least try something.
You like them here?
I think I have to. I don't like New Orleans. I don't think New Orleans is any good. I think that Giannis should have a decent game because, of course, I don't think anyone on New Orleans can guard him. I don't think New Orleans can guard anybody at this point. New Orleans has gone over in each of its last 5 games. So, his defense isn't exactly getting it done. At the end of the day, I kind of have to like Milwaukee because I don't really think anybody from New Orleans guards are really any good. And I think Holiday should have a pretty solid revenge game angle. I think he'll have a pretty good game. But him and Middleton, who on New Orleans can guard him?
Yeah.
J.J. Redick and Josh Hart at him? Like, what are you supposed to do?
Yeah, and we talked about it earlier. This is a New Orleans team that doesn't lose but cover. They when they lose, they earn it. They lose legitimately.
They get smacked a lot.
Yeah, they do. So it's not if you're thinking about taking New Orleans, you might as well take them to win. You might as well take the price.
The issue with New Orleans also is Lonzo might be out. So you might say, good. He's not a good player. You get more minutes for Eric Bledsoe. Congratulations.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't think Bledsoe's very good either. So I'll go with Milwaukee. I think there's a reason why this line has climbed from 6.5 to around 8 or so. I also like the over. I know it's gone up from 228.5 to 230.
Yeah,
but the Pelicans have just been playing track meets.
Yep, they just they play pace and they don't play a lot of defense.
Would it shock you if Milwaukee scored 130 in this game? Probably not.
Yeah, 10 of the last 11 have gone over.
Yeah,
that's hard to pass. I see. I'm somewhere in the neighborhood of 120, 110 here. 120,
I was going to say 125, 110. So
yeah, 125, 125, 112.
Yeah, something like that.
That doesn't get us there though, does it?
Yeah, it does. It's 230.
Oh, 237. Yeah, you're right.
I would consider a
Forgot to
correlated.
carry the one.
I would consider a correlated parlay there
Yeah.
between Milwaukee and the over, because if you think that Milwaukee's going to score 130 points or so,
Yep.
I don't think New Orleans is covering.
No, agreed.
So just keep that in mind.
All right, very good. All right, so now we go on to our second game of the evening. And Scott, this is a team that you've been clamoring for to see on TV, and finally you get to see them. It's the Dallas Mavericks taking on, I don't know, hottest team in basketball, Scott, the Utah Jazz.
Well, they've won 10 straight, so I can't really say no.
I mean, is statistically you can't, but I mean, is there a better team, a team that's playing better basketball right now?
No, Utah's been killing everybody. Now, I will acknowledge that Utah's had a pretty easy schedule during its winning streak. You want to actually go through the teams that they've played. They beat the Nuggets by 4, which is an impressive win. Other than that, though, I mean, you're looking at they beat the Bucks also, so I'll give them credit for that.
They beat New Orleans twice.
They beat New Orleans, Golden State, the Knicks, the Mavericks, the Cavs, the Pistons, the Hawks. A lot of really bad teams in here.
Yep.
So I will acknowledge that, and I'm not going to suddenly say Utah's the favorite in the West. I think that they're still the third best team behind the Clippers when healthy and the Lakers. But Dallas getting some people back. I know Richardson's supposed to be back in the lineup tonight, so that may be why you might think this game might be more competitive than it has in, I don't know, the last 2 days when Utah killed them. Mitchell might not play, but
Mitchell is questionable with a concussion.
I got to take Utah. I know they're
even without Mitchell, huh?
They killed him without Mitchell in the last game.
Okay.
I can't. That's why I like Dallas in the last game. I thought that the line was questionable. Then Mitchell was announced out. Line dropped from around 4 to 2.5, and Utah killed him. I just think Dallas isn't a very good basketball team.
No, it's not working for them this year.
Doncic is great, but the issue is you trade a couple resources here and there for a guy who you think is going to be the second, superstar, borderline all-star guy, and he's been fine. But A, he's never healthy, so you can't build up enough chemistry between the players and the current roster. And B, you trade all those picks for a fringe all-star guy. He's not even close to that.
No, he was
good,
much better.
But he's not like
he was much better last year. They worked together much better last year.
Yeah, and I think Richardson's a good player, but I don't think he's good enough to keep this game, to give Dallas a serious shot to win. The issue you had with Dallas in the last game was that if you look at the stat line from the previous matchup and for this immediate rematch, the first meeting where Utah won by 12, Gobert killed this team. You had Porzingis playing 32 minutes, 18 and 5. He played pretty well. How do you give up? I don't know how you give up 29 and 20 to Gobert. You just can't stop him. And Utah's number 1 in the league in rebounding, so I can't assume that Dallas is suddenly going to figure it out.
Right.
When Gobert in the middle is probably going to – I think he's going to have a worse performance. I don't think he's going to drop 29 and 20. But, 18 and 15?
Yeah, I think that's certainly possible, yeah. And this is a Jazz team that not only wins, they cover. Good teams win, great teams cover, and they've won 10 straight. They've covered 10 straight.
Jordan Clarkson off the bench, by the way, 31 points.
If that's not your sixth man of the year, I don't know who is.
That's what I'm saying, though. Utah actually has a lot of scoring options. Dallas has Doncic. You have Richardson, who played last game, who had 6 points. Hardaway Jr. is very streaky, but he's decent, and Porzingis has been okay. But you're going through the options here. Utah can throw, 4 or 5 guys at you that can all put up 15 plus.
Yeah.
I don't know what Dallas has. 3 guys?
Yeah.
That's the problem. I just think the scoring depth isn't there. And I think that what I said before was that I think Dallas was going to cover the previous game because I thought Doncic would go nuts. Doncic had 30 points. He only had 6 assists and 4 rebounds. He kind of needs to put up 35, 16, and 12 for them to actually compete with these good teams. He didn't, and they lost by 12. So I think unless Doncic goes, I'd say bonkers, I think Utah's just going to roll again.
Ride that horse till it throws you, Scott.
Yep.
10 straight, good enough for me. And I know a lot of the times the second leg of these back-to-backs kind of go differently. I just think this Utah team's playing too good at basketball right now, and I don't think Dallas has enough answers. I'll take them to cover that number as well.
So I want to ask you a question just out of curiosity about the Mavericks. I know that injuries have played a factor in a lot of its roster makeup. I was a huge Rick Carlisle guy early in his career, especially when he won the title with that Mavericks team, which is still one of my favorite teams of all time. I don't know what adjustments he's making out there or what exactly they're doing, but I don't know. Why do I feel like he's underachieved the last couple of years? Am I wrong for feeling that way?
Because he's had a top 5 player in the league, and they haven't done anything at all.
Well, I mean, losing the Clippers in the first round, I'll give him a little bit of a pass for that last year. Just, I don't know. I just see the Mavericks, and I think Carlisle is a very good coach, and yet for some reason, 2 and 2 just don't go together. I don't know really what the story is.
No, well, they took. Well, I think you've answered your own question earlier in the segment. They took a big shot at Porzingis, and
I think that's the main reason why. It's just
he hasn't turned into the player they thought he was going to be. So, all right. Any other of these games get your attention tonight?
Well, looking at the card here, I'll tell you what. There's no way I'm taking Brooklyn minus 9.5. They can't stop anybody. I know Oklahoma City already beat them this year. I'd consider looking maybe at Oklahoma City plus the 9.5.
Okay.
But can I really say no to this Denver team? I mean, we've been talking about hot teams and how Utah's been great. Denver has been really, really good over the last, I'd say, 2 weeks or so. I know Denver's on a winning streak. So is San Antonio. San Antonio's played pretty well.
Yep.
But, I mean, you look at San Antonio's big men. You got who? An aging LaMarcus Aldridge. I don't see how Jokic doesn't go for 25, 15, and 12.
Yeah, the only question there, Scott, and I'm not saying it's a deal breaker, but Denver is on the last game of a 5-game road swing.
Yeah.
So they've had some pretty good travel. It's not one of those tight cluster travel. They've gone from Dallas to Miami to San Antonio. So
just saying though, Denver's won 5 straight. The team's played pretty well. San Antonio losing record at home, but also
one covered 5 straight.
Yeah, one more thing there. Denver also got Michael Porter Jr. back, who has played really well since he came back from the COVID list. So Denver seems to be, picking it up, playing like the team we thought it would be. And San Antonio has been better than advertised, but the issue is I still think Denver's a much more talented team.
Yeah, you're right. But that's a fair amount of points, man.
I just think Jokic is going to go nuts tonight.
Okay. All right.
I think you'd agree with that because I don't know. You think Aldridge has a shot?
No,
I mean, Aldridge looks like he should have retired a year ago.
No, I think Jokic to go for 30 is certainly a decent play.
Yeah, 30, 15, and 12. Like in daily fantasy lineups, he should be probably the base of your lineup tonight.
Yeah, I would agree. All right, sir. Well, it should be a fun night of basketball. We've got some decent games on for a change. No Golden State. I know you're heartbroken about that.
I'm thrilled I got to watch them on TV lose by 20 again last night.
Fantastic, wasn't it?
Mm-hmm.
All right, guys. And, of course, if you're looking for more information on these games or any other games, don't forget to stop by and check out winnersandwhiners.com. Deep dives into every game every single day. Fantastic resource for your handicapping needs. And that's going to do it for us. We will be back at some point later tonight, early tomorrow morning with our Saturday college show. But for now, for myself, for Scott Reichel, for all of us over here at Winners and Winers, appreciate you guys watching today. Wish you nothing but the best of luck today and for the entire weekend. Hope every one of those tickets in your pocket turns into cash money back at the window. You guys have a great day. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe. And we'll see you next time on Today in Sports Betting. Take care, everybody. Clear.